Good evening, everyone, and welcome
Hi.
to the Psychic Zone. And tonight, Penelope is on because Sean just wasn't filling up to being on the show. Okay, I like this. I'm having fun. Okay, just a minute. If I come over here, oh my God. Um, oh, wait, oh my goodness.
Ah,
So, well, we'll see what happens. I'm going to see if I can create another one.
what are you creating?
I'm doing a banner across the front so that both our names, because right now the banner that's up doesn't allow your name to be shown.
Oh, that's okay.
And, but scroll across. Uh, oh, I lost my mouse. Oh no. Every now and then, things just turn off on me.
Yeah.
There we go. So Sean couldn't make it tonight because he wasn't feeling up to his little tired. He had a weekend away for his 60th birthday, and I guess he had so much fun, he wore himself out. And so, um, it sounds like I'm delayed.
Actually, I was checking my if I could do Facebook and mute it, but I can't
You can't. No.
because I don't know if I'll be able to see any of the.
Okay. If you can't, I'll read the questions to
Okay.
you. Okay. Right now, we don't have. Wait. Where'd my mouse go again?
I know I
Wow.
sent a message to Tracy.
Okay. So, hi, Tracy. So, Tracy's on. I just flipped over to the comment side. I
Hi,
think
Tracy.
I think my batteries are dying on my mouse. So, I'll be flipping it back and forth all night just to keep it running. Hello, Alana. How are you?
Yeah. See, I can't see anybody or even hellos.
Okay, so it's Alana. She's saying, hey. Oh, that's weird because Sean was able to. So, maybe it has to do with a computer.
It could be.
Okay. Because I did notice when I was on my iPad, I wasn't able to see them as clearly as I could if I was, nope, those batteries are too big, if I was on this.
Yeah. See, nothing shows because if I wait, just that. No.
Okay. And Facebook still, apparently, StreamYard still has mentioned that Facebook has a little problem, a little glitch somewhere. And if you're looking, it will say page not available, but if you click on it, it is available.
So the only way I can see what anyone says is to hit chat, and then it just sort of blocks out you and I.
Oh, yeah,
You
that's
guys
okay.
still do you still see me though?
Oh, yeah, I still see you. If you've hit chat and gone
Yeah,
off, yeah. So, yesterday was winter or fall equinox.
yeah.
And Penelope woke me up with a message saying happy fall equinox. And I replied, but I did my little ritual where I welcome in the season. Plus, hi, Faye. Faye is saying hello.
Hi, Faye.
And I welcomed in the season. I did my offering to Spirit along with a cup of coffee and everything.
Yeah.
And I was babysitting Sean's dogs, and Gibbs ran out and ate all the offering. So I'm really hoping Spirit understood the intent behind that. It's the first time I've been around a dog when I'm doing an offering to the season that they're eating everything I'm putting down. But so tonight, as you can see, Penelope's on for those who've come on a little late. Sean was a little tired, so I should really say a lot tired. So he's headed to bed, and Penelope and I are going to do the show together. I have my Green Witch Tarot with me, the ones that I used on Saturday, but I also have another deck. Now it's a little darker than most people would probably like, but it's called Dark Tarot or Dark Fairy Tarot deck.
Oh, cool.
And the back of the cards are quite dark, and so are the front. So, if you can look past the dark coloring because they're very dark, um, they're really actually nice cards. Very graphic and very pretty. I like this one. Uh, I'm going to guess it's either the Knight or the King of Swords. I haven't looked at the cards, so I don't know. But there he is. Like,
Mhm.
and that would normally be the Knight of Swords. And just the way he's coming forward in that red energy that he's bringing messages for people. So I really like the cards. And Penelope, what cards do you have with you?
I'm actually doing, there we go. Whoops.
Okay,
Yeah,
remember. Yep.
there we are. Black Tarot cards. I just got the Black Cat Tarot. I just got the cards in the mail today. I haven't slept on them or anything, but they feel very cool. They have some really cool, interesting art. Every single card depicts a black cat. Hence the reason for, whoops, I think we got,
Remember, aim for your chin and go straight up.
how's that?
No, over. Other over. Up.
Yeah, up there.
And there we go. Over again.
Ah,
Other over.
it's hard when you can't see. Anyways, they're really cool. They're very dark, and I like them, and I love black cats. So bear with me, because with one hand I'm holding my iPad, and with the other I'm going to do cards. So
Okay, so if I'm going to disappear for a second. Yeah. Ashley bought this for me. It's on Amazon. It's called the Arm. Okay, you can put an iPad on, you attach it to something. So if anyone ever needs one because they're doing something, brilliant investment.
well,
I use it all the time.
that's really good. But yours is over there, and I'm over here.
I'm just saying for the next time. Okay. I also have these little cards, and I haven't actually looked at them until this very minute. We got these little tiny cards like this. I don't think you can see anything about them. And on one side, whoops, it says, "Take my goat." On the other side, there's a little saying. We got these at Sean's birthday party. So I thought I'd use them tonight because it'd be interesting too to see what they have to say. They're supposed to be like inspirational things.
Oh, okay.
So, okay. So since we have Tracy, Alana, and Faye, I thought maybe what we each could do, like Sean and I do, is pull a card or two if you feel inclined to two for each person, and just tell them what you're seeing and what direction you think it's going in.
Okay.
Okay, and I've got like 4 decks. My desk is full of decks. But I think I'm going to also use I haven't used this one very much. I tried using it. It's cats in line with Penelope, but they're different. They're oracle cards, and I have to use the book with them, so you'll have to bear with me. Okay, so Penelope, why don't you start with Tracy?
Okay, so I'm going to pull. First, let me see what it is.
Okay, up, straight up. Perfect.
This is the one of coins, the ace of coins. And if you notice, just a sec, Tracy, cat, beautiful cat. If you saw on the card, we'll show it just one more time, Tracy. It shows a cat sitting on the mast of a ship, and it talks about new beginnings and having the courage to continue. The water makes me think about taking care of women's health, but you and I kind of understand that. And there's if you look again, there's a tortoise or a porcupine, not porcupine. What are they? Not tortoises, dolphins, and what's the other one, Darcy?
Seals, whales.
No, it's like a dolphin.
It's like a
It'll
dolphin.
come to me. Anyways.
A flipper. I don't know.
It talks about moving forward and knowing that your decisions are heading in the right direction and having faith that you're going to do the right thing. But also, the water really makes me think about taking care of your health and that kind of natural flow of water through into your body and out of your body. So that's mine for Tracy.
Okay. Uh, that's just too weird. So, Tracy, I'm notorious. If I didn't like the card or I didn't think it suits you, I normally put it back and I pull another one. But, Tracy, I pulled the same card. And it's 10 of chalices or 10 of cups. And this is the idea that everything that you would like to see fall into place, family, emotions, relationships with other people, work, that it will all fall into place. But one of the biggest thing is to be patient. And um, when Penelope mentioned, like moving forward, trusting your instincts, this week I've had a few people already, and we're only at Tuesday, ask me, how do you do that? And for me, it's just natural. Not that I listen, okay? I don't always listen to when they say, pay attention to this message, but it's just an instinct. So I'm just going to say, trust your instincts, like Penelope said, because it is a case of if you go with the flow, Tracy, things are going to fall
Yeah.
into place. But one of the things they're mentioning is there's a little anger around you, Tracy. And so this is letting go. Think of when you're laying in the sun and you see all those particles and you start batting at them. Well, that's really what you should be doing with the anger, is batting, batting, batting it far away from you. Okay, so next is Alana.
Anna.
And hello, Holly. We'll get to you in the cards in a few minutes. We got a couple people ahead of you. Hi, Lisa.
Okay, I gotta actually
You're writing down names?
I'm not writing down names, but I've actually found something that I don't, like I said, this is a brand new deck. So 20. Okay, we're kind of gonna wing it here, but this shows a cat. Whoops. A cat in what looks to be a graveyard, and then you see the stars and everything shining down.
Isn't 20 the devil?
No, 20. Yeah, well, 20 is nude is the deceiver in my other deck. So it could be the devil, it could be the deceiver, and what it's mostly about is what this to me when I look at it is the cat. The cats aren't looking downward. Just a sec. They're looking upward to the sky. And they're
Okay.
letting go of old animosities, old frustrations. Fall for me, when I celebrate fall, I sent everybody a blessing that I cherish. And I sent a general one out into the world that said, for me, my autumn blessing, and this ties so much for you, Alana, is that all that all the anger and the pain and sorrow and grief and frustration, that you think of it as leaves falling off the September tree, you know, and it's just let it go with the wind. And that's my message to you today.
Okay. And with myself, Alana, I picked the Ace of Swords, which is communications, again, new starts, new beginnings, but it's about being clear for what you want and also being patient in the process because you're not fighting to get to where you need to be. Okay, so everyone who has come on, just so you know, hello, first of all. And as we come down the list of names, we will pull cards for you. And that's what we're going to do tonight, basically. We're going to pull cards and give you the messages or whatever we see should be applied to you. Okay, so we have our cousin Faye.
Yes.
All right,
Hi,
so,
Faye. Hope you're doing well.
okay, I'm going to jump in first. So, Faye, I feel as though, because you've already sent me a message earlier, that your son is like marching around you. I don't know if his birthday or his anniversary was recently, but I feel like there's something you are supposed to be celebrating. And it's like when you pick the flowers in your garden and you bring them out and put them in your house and you admire them. or it could be faith that you're supposed to delve a little bit more into what flowers mean. Like I just learned that chrysanthemums, I think that's, just a minute, let me check with my expert. Hey, Ash, what flower? Dahlias. No, it's dahlias. We were at Bush Art Gardens, and there were dahlias like a whole huge bunch of them. And there was a gentleman there who I overheard saying that the Aztecs used to grow dahlias and eat the roots because they had a sweetness to them, lots of vitamin C, D, and stuff. And I thought, okay, so I came home. I talked to him for a few minutes. And when I got home, I looked it up, and it's true. You can eat dahlia roots. So I would say definitely check, make sure they're not grown in toxic waste before you eat them. But maybe, Faye, you're supposed to be following the nature aspect of your traditions and looking to how the roots and the leaves and the buds can help people as well as yourself.
Cool. And I pulled, whoops, the magician. Wait a sec.
Yeah, I like
And
that card.
yeah, isn't it cool? Like the imagery on these cards, some of it is really dark, but I've spent the day kind of flipping through them. Yes, even at work, don't ask. I'm a very indulgent executive director. So you'll see that there's candles lit. The magician, the black cat there in the center, has all that ability to hold his own and to follow his own belief system and sort of devil me down. This is what he believes in. And he has all the tools and the knowledge inside. So much like Darcy, if you're following a more cultural way of life, start maybe think about that, leave offerings to the grandmothers and the grandfathers, and the magician talks about healing. So you know that old expression that you've heard people say to doctors, heal yourself. So a lot of what you need to consider is, as a magician, as your card, you have the ability to heal some of the pain and some of the sorrow on your own. And Darcy's right. Your son wants to celebrate, and I know and can only imagine how hard that must be. And he brought Darcy to the floor. Holy. So what I'm going to do is, while she comes back from her mystery visit, hi. While she comes back from her mystery visit on the floor.
Sorry, everyone. My mouse had died. And so if I want to scroll down and see who's on, I can't do it. So now, but I figured if you guys heard screaming, I probably cut myself in the process. But I've got it back together.
Okay, well, Holly's next.
Yes, Holly's next. She would like cards. So you go ahead.
So I think we've got this down almost pat. There we go.
There you go.
Holly, this is the High Priestess. And if you look at her, she's kind of cool. There she is, sitting on a branch, kind of precariously, way too far above the ground for my liking. And she's very casual, looking into the night wind, wishing on her stars, kind of humming to herself. And if you look, there's a butterfly beside her. Butterflies talk about new beginnings, spiritual awareness. And the High Priestess, she has confidence to do whatever she damn well wants. She has all the skills she needs. She's a very powerful woman in her own right. So my message to you is to really hold on to who you are and don't let people push you around so much anymore, okay?
Okay.
I hope that helps.
And to add to that, Holly, I pulled the High Priest. So to me, it even could be something where you're using your own energy to create a new environment around you. It could be working in tangent with your husband to create a new environment, but it can also be bringing spirit a little closer to you. Basically, Holly, take your time, enjoy the season. because I feel new things are coming towards you. So Lisa, and just quickly, Holly said she's outside and keeps smelling perfume. I would say that's probably a mom or a grandma, Holly.
Yeah, when you smell perfume or the scent of things like uh, lilies and geraniums and lavender, even lilac, that is the spirit coming, and it's a spirit that wants you to know that they love you and they cherish you.
Okay, so Lisa's next.
Lisa.
And yep, and Lisa, thank you for coming on. Hello, I hope everyone is doing
Yeah.
fine. I know we're not getting down fast enough to everyone, but if you
Well,
just bear with us, we'll get through the list.
how about we do kind of a massive while I'm fixing cards up here? Hi, Lisa and Kathy and Ginger and Heather Demand
Dickinson?
and Heather.
Yeah.
Who is she?
Yep,
Dan.
Heather Dickinson.
Ah, and there's another Lisa. There's uh,
Yeah, Lisa Edwards.
and Lisa Palame.
Yeah. So, hello, ladies. Really nice to see everyone. Can't see your smiling faces, but I know you're all smiling.
Now it's Lisa P that
Hel-
we're reading for
yes.
first, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I pulled the Emperor, which is a kind of cool card when you look at it. Like,
Yeah.
what
But
true arrogance, but he's sitting there and he has a globe and a staff, the globe of wisdom, the staff of leadership and power. I would say to you that my message to you this week is to uh, not just believe in yourself, but to take every opportunity that you feel is worthy of you and move forward on your week, that the next week, that way. Just a lot of opportunity will come, and don't second guess yourself. You're like the Emperor. You're strong, you're confident, and you can do this.
well, and Lisa, using my new deck, the Black Fairy deck, I pulled the Emperor too, but he's got woes. He's got woes behind him. So this is being in control of your own destiny. But one of the things I would say is you really need to pay attention to detail, Lisa. All right. So the more you pay attention to detail, the farther along you're going to get to where you want to be. Okay, so you're welcome, Tracy, and Kathy Wesley would like
Okay.
well, not that she says she wants a card, but she's on there, so let's pull her a card.
All right. Okay. I had to finish. There we go. I'll get this down pat one of these days. All right. So for you, I've chosen the. There we go. I think
There, right there, it's perfect.
the king of, I believe that's swords. The king of swords, the king of wands. A king is a very powerful person, and ironically enough, with this card, the first thought that comes to mind is you have a decision to make about a man in your life, and make sure that this is a decision that is in your favor. Don't just decide to do something because it makes peace. The other thing when I look at this card is this: the Emperor's down and he's planting something. So if you have extra money, this is a really good time for you to consider starting an investment, planting a seed for the future, and I hope that it helps you.
Okay, and for Kathy,
Yes.
I pulled the four coins, and I don't know if you can see it, but the energy coming off this coin, and she's getting ready to put her faith forward to listen to her instincts, but it's also that I feel like she's also being guided into what she can do or what she would like to do, and there's this confidence around her, Kathy, and I would tell you to embrace your inner witch, and because that confidence is taking you to where you want to be. And I see that Penelope is being upstaged by a black and white cat in the background.
Oh,
So
that is Jester. There is a Jester is one of my 5 rescue cats, and don't be surprised if Jester decides to jump. It's probably very inappropriate of me to say this live, but Jester is lovingly referred to as the prick in the house.
yeah, you got to be careful because Facebook will cut us.
Oh,
So
sorry.
you got to be careful. Okay,
Let's just say
so
if there's anything bad that could possibly be done, from scratching my furniture to tearing apart my favorite leather purse, and my let's not forget my Muckluck City destroyed.
okay, well, Chester, nice seeing you. Uh, Ginger is next, and she asked if she could have a card. Ginger, I love your name. It makes me think of Gilligan's Island. Um, and I always loved watching the show, and I wanted to be a movie star just like Ginger. But then again, I was more like Marianne. I had the pigtails and everything. Wow. Okay, so Ginger, I pulled, this looks like the Lovers, but it's the Two of Cups. They're just like it's yin and yang together. They blend so perfectly, you can't tell the difference between two people. This could be a spirit on the other side, in particular, trying to let you know emotionally they're supporting you, that they're looking to make sure that you're okay. I want to say this feels to me more like a woman than it does a man. So it could be like a mom, a grandma, but I really feel like they want you to know that emotionally you're going to be balanced and things will begin to flow the way you'd like to see them.
Okay, I pulled there we go, the Knight of Swords, and you will see a knight on a horse flying off into the air, right? Like a beautiful,
Yep.
beautiful black cat on a white horse. Um, White symbolizes faith, spiritual faith, happiness. The knight talks about, with a sword in hand, it says, go boldly into the future. Time to leave the past behind you and just keep moving forward.
Yep. I would agree with that. And Kathy asked us if we could pull a card for Yvonne.
Okay, Kathy for Yvonne.
Just a minute. I'm going to pull one of these instead.
Okay. You want me to
Okay.
go first? Or you go
Yeah, you
first?
go ahead. I think I need to shuffle these babies.
Okay. Mine is the 10. I think this is,
Hold it up again. I'll tell you.
I think this is cups.
Let's see. Nope. Is it swords down below?
I'm not sure if that's a sword or a cup. Like I said,
Okay.
no, it would be a cup. This is the 10 of cups.
Okay.
And if you look, first, 10 of cups talks about the things we have. And look at, like, you have a lot of stuff that you've always received. You know, you've had, like, gifts have come your way. And we're talking not just monetary gifts, but spiritual gifts. And this talks about basically turning the light on in the future. I mean, there's a cat. He's pretty self-explanatory. Turn on the light and see who you are and see what it is that you really want, instead of kind of fumbling around in the dark.
Okay. And for Kathy, for Yvonne, I picked self care. And this is about looking after herself, making sure that she's getting proper diet, exercise, that she emotionally stays balanced. So I would basically tell her to look after herself in the next week or so. Hi, Heather. So for Heather, I have picked investigate. And whatever it is you're branching into or you're looking to do, Heather, just make sure you investigate it, because if you don't, there could be some false information given and you could find yourself sitting in the dark holding the pot without a light. Okay, so please investigate.
And I pulled just a sec. It's hard to see this. This is actually the Ace of Swords. And you see, like, the cat is sitting there and he's sharpening on a whetted stone, right? And he's really examining his blade. So much like Darcy said, this is a message about being very, very thorough when you're going to speak or you're going to do anything, like investigate before you say anything, just like that warrior or that knight, he's getting ready to go into battle and he's making really, really sure that his sword is clean and tidy. So Darcy's message is something I would agree with.
All right. So Lisa has asked us if we could pull a card for her daughter who lives in the U.S.
San Diego, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Go
This is
ahead.
there we go. Two of Cups, chalices. And you see two cats, one just slightly above the other. And actually, I think that's a third cat because that they're holding the tail of the white cat. You see that?
Are you sure it's not? Oh, no, it says 2.
Yeah, two.
Okay.
And it's there are Two of Cups. So this talks about balance, being able to balance things carefully. And if you look, the cat's doing fairly well. He's got one balancing on something he's sitting on, and he's got the other cup he's balanced with while he's holding someone else's tail. So I think too, your daughter, is it daughter?
Yep.
Your daughter might possibly be having to make a decision in her relationship as well.
Okay. And I picked 2 cards. And the first one is pursue. And so, Lisa, for your daughter, I would say that there may be something that she's going to pursue, like a new job, a new opportunity for herself. I had to think of a word there. And then I picked the 10 of coins. And I really think this, I've never really stopped to look at these cards, but it's a very pretty card because there's the mirror reflection. She's looking back. She may be making decisions, as Penelope said, but she's got the dragon who's protecting her. So I would tell you, if you're concerned about your daughter living in San Diego, she should be fine, Lisa.
Yeah.
And I'd like to come back to Lisa E in a minute, but Lisa P, we've already pulled a card for her, but her mom's sitting beside her. So could we pull a card for Lisa P's mom?
What's her mom's name?
I don't know. It just says for my mom who is sitting beside me. So we'll basically pull a card for Lisa P's mom. And then after this, I'd like to go back and pull a card for Lisa herself, Edwards.
Okay. Well, we're we're gonna wing it with this one because, like I said, I'm just gonna kind of go intuitively. But this is another one of the swords. I think it's the knight. Looking at the top of it, I see a knight's crest. And this is a time for Lisa's mom. I'm just gonna say Lisa's mom. This is a time for you to reflect and sit and not rush into things and focus on yourself.
All right.
This cat is very confident in midair, sort of saying, yeah, I've got the time to chill and focus on the things that are important to me, health, financial security, maybe taking some time to rest.
Well, and to add to that, it is a time for caution. Okay, so no running down the stairs, Lisa's mom, without holding the railing, no climbing ladders that you shouldn't be on, or, stepping up on this chair and thinking, well, I can step from the chair to the counter to get what I'm after. So none of that. And then, Lisa, since I can't remember, and I know I've read for you before, but is your dad passed? Because I get a gentleman sitting smack dab between the two of you, but he should be dead. All right. So it'd be interesting to know if it's your dad who's passed or your mom's dad, because there's a man sitting there and it's like he has his hand around both your shoulders or arms, I guess, his arms. Okay. So jumping back to Lisa E, I'd like to pull a card for her since we did her daughter.
Yes.
No. Okay. I pulled the Queen of Cups, Lisa, and that means you're in charge. You're the one in the driver's seat. You're the one who sort of makes the decisions. And in the process, one of the things you have to do is look after your health. because I picked the choice card, and the choice is looking after health, making sure even though you're in the driver's seat that you're also delegating to other people to get them to help you. Okay, Penelope,
Okay,
what did you get?
so I have the 10 of Swords. Now, really look at this card, Lisa. There are a whole bunch of warnings on this, but the primary one at the door says
Exit.
exit, exit, exit. And I think that that's pretty self-explanatory if you listen to Darcy, what Darcy just said. This is a decision that you have to make, but really look at it. I mean, this cat isn't hesitating. You know, he's opening that door and he's following that advice. Exit works for you. There's your keywords this today and tomorrow, and most of next week. Exit.
Okay. Holly has asked if we could pull a card for her husband because he's listening to this as well.
What's his name?
Bill.
Bill.
Okay.
Well, you know, it's Bill. I have a card for you. This is the Knight of Swords. Whoops, there we go. Pretty headstrong, and when I say opinionated, I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm a very opinionated woman, so what that means to me is that you speak your mind, and sometimes, you know, you might not always think first, which I'm famous for not doing. But this horse is moving forward, sort of devil may down, sort of charged. Now, that tells me that perhaps, you know, this is a good thing, but if you look, there's bushes, in case you didn't see that. There's bushes around this, and you might want to be careful what's in the bushes.
Yeah. Now, I picked number, I picked the strength card, Bill. But if you notice the lady, sorry, normally in the strength card, it's about being in control without having to exert strength, because you've got a natural way of doing it. So you become sort of like the leader and people follow. But Bill, in this particular case, when I look at the card, I feel like you need to find your voice, that you need to speak your truth or speak what you would like to say and not to be afraid of it. And it doesn't mean you go out there and you bully people or anything like that. It means that you're pulling forward that strength that people see and you're articulating it at the same time. Now, Bill, I'm just going to jump for a minute because I also have a gentleman beside you, and I want to say it is your dad, and he's got his hand on your shoulder and he's telling you good job. So I'm just going to put that out there. And I don't know who John belongs to, but since I'm talking to Bill, I'm pretty sure it's to you. So John, Jack, James, Jim, it's the JG sound. And I'll just put that out there. Okay, Kathy, we did pull for Yvonne. Lisa's mom's name was Hilda. And Ginger, you're welcome. Brenda would like a card, please. Okay, so as I'm doing this, I'm trying to go slowly down the list because I've got the list on the side and I'm reading the names and everything. And you guys type faster than I'm reading. So as I get down to you and I see that Kathy has explained it's her sister, Ginger has given her mom's name. Thank you all for doing that.
Yeah.
Very appreciated.
And thanks for your patience. So this was for Brenda?
Yes, this is for Brenda.
Brenda, this is the Queen of
Swords.
And this is a time of reflection for you. And if you look, it's very fall orientated. This is a time for you to take a step back and breathe and think about where you're going in the future. Think about what it is that you want to do. And remember, like the Queen, I mean, she's pretty confident sitting there on her throne, looking out over the universe and the world in front of her, because everything is obtainable to her. So that is your message. Be strong, be confident, take some time for reflection, and remember everything is obtainable for you and that you are well loved and cherished.
Nice. So for Brenda, I've also picked the Three of Coins, and the Three of Coins represents normally our darkest fears. All right. But in this particular case, I think you're able to conquer any fear that is around you, and that there is something here you're going to have to spend a little money on. But whatever it is, I watched a lady. Oh God, I must have been in my 20s when I watched this program, and she basically said she was a inspirational speaker, confident builder, whatever they're called, and no, I shouldn't say it like that, because she was really good. Like, she really inspired me. And one of the things she said was, if money could fix it, fix it. And if it can't, throw it out. Now, I've used that principle. Now, okay, I don't always apply it to people, but I do apply it to even my emotions. So if I'm upset and I can't speak my truth, I will talk to someone so I can get a perspective on how to say it without actually hurting feelings. And that doesn't always work for me, but I try. And so, if there is something, Brenda, you need to talk about, or if you need a second medical opinion, then go get it. Spend the money, go get it. It's worth it.
Definitely. Definitely.
Okay, so Megan has asked if we can pull a card for her as well.
So I have pulled a card. It is the 9 of Swords. And this is a really cool one, because if you look, like, this cat is staring in what looks like a mirror. Basically, the standing stones, like Stonehenge, but with mirrors reflecting back at.
Oh, we lost Penelope. There seems to be a technical difficulty, everyone. And that, I'll do this, Megan. I was pulling cards and I didn't like them. So, Megan, which is notorious for me, I'm going to try again and pull you a card and see if I like it. All right. Okay, I like this one. It is the six of Wands. Okay, and the Six of Wands is about adventure. It's about weddings. It's about anniversaries, birthday celebration. It's about celebrating life, and it's being open to challenges inside your life and actually following your heart's desire. Don't be afraid to look to where you want to be, and then look at, Megan, what you have to do to get you there. So basically, if, let's say you want to go to Mexico, okay? Oh, or you want to move. I pulled another card, this Chariot. This is move. What if you want to decorate your apartment, but you're afraid to get started? Okay, and if that's the case, just look at it and take a few minutes and get colors from Home Depot or Lowe's or Rona, and pin them to the wall. So normally I recommend, like, taking a brush and painting a little piece of the wall and walking by it and going, okay, I like that color. I've done that. It gets a little hard because then you got to paint over them. So I found if you get those little chips and you put them on the wall, then you can see, is this the color that suits me? So I would say go ahead, move forward, that you really need to follow your instincts of what you're looking for to do inside your life. But there's shift moved, and there's a lot of energy happening with you in the next week. So for everyone who has said thank you, you're welcome. And Lisa, thank you, lady. She's going to love it. Okay, you're welcome. And okay, so Lori. Oh, Penelope's back. Her iPad died. Now she's back. Okay, so we've moved on. Is that for Megan?
That was for Megan. And basically, the card just, excuse me, talks about having the courage to face your own demons and to be able to walk away from them and know that you're fine just where you are. Sorry about that. For whatever reason, my plugged-in iPad decided that it wasn't charging fast enough. So now I'm on my iPhone, so bear with me. Who are we on to next?
Okay, well, I was just thanking everyone who's given us information or thanked us for doing the cards for them. And Lori wanted to know, okay, Do you have a message from my husband? Oh, Lori, if you're asking about your husband, you have to give us his name, especially if he's passed. Lisa, thank you. That was a nice surprise for me. And yes, Darcy, I know you're right. Okay. Holly, thank you. Yes, you're welcome, Holly. You're welcome, Brenda. Lynn would like us to pull a card. She'd appreciate it.
Okay. Just a sec, Lynn. Lynn, a quick question I want to ask, just because it's something I'm feeling. But when Darcy mentioned your name, I know you didn't cause it, but I got a bit of a headache. And I'm wondering if maybe this wouldn't be a good time for you to get your eyes checked. Because whenever I get headaches, it's usually, I associate with my vision, because my headaches mostly come when my glasses aren't strong enough, and I do a lot of reading and time on the computer. So that's just a side message.
Okay.
Then I'm
And
told, where's this? The Four of Chalice Cups. And to me, this card is saying, gather your sisters, the women that you consider sisters, and take strength in them, and really just celebrate being women and stuff. I don't think you do that enough.
okay. And with Lynn, I was going to pull one card, but I'm told to go over here to this deck and pull it. Okay, we already had that card. We're going to change another card. Don't like that card, Lynn. Just bear with me. I'll find a card I like for you.
Surprise me. You don't like the cards, so you just...
Yeah, no, if I don't feel the card fits, it's like if the shoe doesn't fit, I'm not wearing it. Oh, here we go, Lynn. Care. This is really nice. This shows that you're a caring person, that you like to look after other people besides yourself. But one of the things about this card that yells out to me is nurture yourself. Because if we don't nurture that little girl or boy, whichever, inside of us, then we sort of lose track of who we truly are. So, Lynn, take the time to nurture yourself. All right. And to celebrate life to the fullest, and to appreciate everyone who's around you. Okay. So, Brittany would like us to know if we can give her more information on who her daughter has been seeing. Well, Brittany, I sort of think that's up to your daughter.
Yes, definitely.
I don't think it's up to us. I think it's something you're going to have to talk to your daughter about. I'm sorry. But I'll tell you what, Brittany, we'll pull you a card, but I'm not going to go nose around on your daughter, because really it's up to her.
Brittany, this is the only thing that comes to my mind is my daughter-in-law once, my son, before he met my daughter-in-law, said, what am I going to do if you don't like the woman I'm dating? And I said to him, I'm going to believe in your belief system and your sense of value, because I raised you. So if I raised you and I did as good a job as I can, then how could I not love anyone that you love, because I raised you to love? So sometimes that's the best piece of advice. I'm very fortunate. I absolutely adore my daughter-in-law, and I love her because she's her, but I also love her because my son loves her. And that's always a tough one for us moms, whether it's a man or woman she's seeing. So I won't say who it is or what I think of it. I think I agree with Darcy. Just, that's something you're going to have to sit down and talk to her about.
Yes. But I did pull a card for you, Brittany, and it's the Four of Wands. And what I like is there's butterflies on the sign, which shows metamorphosis, growing into, say, a young lady, since you've asked about your daughter and I've spoke it out loud. So I think your daughter actually does have decent choice. And if this is the person she's supposed to be with, then it's going to happen. But if it's not, then she's walked away.
Yeah.
So,
And I told one, and this is Aphrodite, the sort of like the god or goddess of knowledge and education and intelligence. So basically, trust in her intelligence and trust in her knowledge, both in herself and in what she's doing.
Okay. Lori answered the question, Lori P, about when she asked if we had a message from her husband, Alexander. I'm going to think he went by Alex. But at this point, I would say I'm not tuning in enough to him. So I don't know if I can actually do a message. But if you don't mind bearing with us as we go along and throwing cards all over and basically answer some other questions, unless Penelope has a message. I'm just not picking anything up at this particular time.
The only thing I'm sensing is a wicked sense of humor and a fabulous laugh.
Yes. Oh, and I totally forgot about these little cards. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, here we go. Thinking of Lori and her husband, that she's asking if we've got a message from him. Life stops being a fight as soon as you stop resisting what it is. I actually think that's very appropriate. Okay, Lynn said to say, oh, well, she says that's impressive. She hasn't had her eyes checked in years. She will do it. And she goes down a little more and she says it's true about not spending enough time with the women in her life. And she says, do you not choose a card because it feels wrong intuitively? I'll answer that in a minute. And you are spot on about not nurturing yourself. And she's told that often, and she was told that tonight. So, Lynn, what it is because you don't shuffle the cards while we're doing this. I'm shuffling the cards. And when I pull the card, it might be right, but there's something about it that says, so I guess in a way, yes, you're right. I put it back because intuitively you didn't shuffle the card. So I'm going for the card that really says, hey, pick me. The other ones, they're more like, okay, here I am. I've got a little message, but it doesn't seem to fit the message I want to put out there. That's why I put them back.
And I have to say, it's not something that I do.
No, sorry. Brittany says that her daughter's only 2. Wow. So, Brittany, you needed to explain that a little more, because when you talked about your daughter, I thought she was 20. So she's an old soul. And so, Brittany, maybe word your question different and re-ask it. Are you asking who is she talking to in spirit realm? And if that's the case, I think I can answer that one. But really, the way you said it, it felt like your daughter was 20 years old and she's dating someone she shouldn't be seeing. So sorry about that.
Or I wouldn't have, if not for a 2-year-old, I would have never drawn a card for a child.
Yeah. And that's probably why we kept saying no. Because there was something about it that said we shouldn't be pulling the card. So when I see, and it would explain the butterflies, because if she's a child, then she is just beginning to bloom. And children are more receptive. It's okay, Brittany. Happens all the time.
You remember, children are closer to the ground. And it is an expression that is used to say they're closer to the ground because they see heaven far clearer than we do. So yeah, that explains a great deal.
Okay. So, Brittany, the first thing I would say is it's a loved one. And it could be a grandfather, a grandmother, an aunt. I feel like it's in the family. And I feel like they're a loved one. And she's not being threatened. I feel that this is like that rosy feeling I get in the heart area means that whoever she's talking to, she is talking to a loved one. And I have to ask, would Walter be connected to anyone who's on the list of names tonight? And that goes for you, Brittany, as well.
Darcy, that's funny you should mention the name Walter.
Why is that?
Well, because about 2 weeks ago, there's construction work. They're putting a dry pond in, and this
Mm-hmm.
man stopped to talk about Bailey and how beautiful she was and everything. And I said, and after about 20 minutes of talking, it turns out he's staying with his daughter, and he's a pipe fitter who walks across the street to his job for the summer. And then he
Nice.
walks down the street a block and a half to his second job. And so, but anyways, about 20 minutes into this conversation, I asked his name, and his name is Walter.
Oh, nice.
And he always waves to me. And then today he stopped to talk to Bailey. So when you said Walter, I thought, you have a message for Walter?
Okay. Walter is Brittany's daughter's grandpa's middle name.
That explains
So
a great deal.
Brittany, is he past them? And okay, so Lynn wanted to know if it could be a different W. Yes, it could be William, Walter, Wayne. And so, yes, it could be another W out there. So, Lynn, if you know which one you're going for, please. Okay. So, Brittany, to answer your question, that is who she's talking to. And thank you for recognizing that it could be a middle name opposed to a first name, because I always forget to tell people that. I just take it for granted. When I say a name, everyone's going to connect it to first, middle, or last name, or in my case, first, middle, last name. So that is who she's talking to. And Lynn said there's a Weston in, and Holly has a Wayne. Okay, so first of all, Lynn, is Weston dead? That's the thing. And if you say yes, I'm going to go great. At which point, sorry about that. Oh, he went by Walter. Yay! Oh, I love it when I get that right. Okay. And so, Lynn, if you could answer that, and Holly, same thing. Are they okay? So Lynn said yes, he's dead. Um, okay, I don't know where the pocket watch or the big timepiece fits in, whether it's to Weston or whether it's to Wayne. But I'm seeing a clock and I can hear the tick, 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 tick. That would totally drive me insane. So it's
Crazy.
not Wayne. Wayne's alive, so this has to be to Western. And he's saying that time marches on no matter where we are in life or what destination we think we have. Time is marching on.
Yes.
And to embrace it, to be joyful of the idea you have all that extra time. And he sends a lot of love as well. And
Is it Wayne, the person that's living?
yes, Wayne
Wayne might
is,
just go for a checkup, probably just to get his cholesterol levels. And maybe, I don't know why I'm saying this, but I see kind of like someone who enjoys good food, and he might just want to watch those cholesterol levels and his sugar intake.
yep, I'd agree with that. Now, Heather has said, are my grandchildren actively working with someone on the other side? Okay, Heather, that's a yes and a no answer. Because I feel like they work for a little bit and then they let it go and go do kids' things and then come back and work a little bit more. But only one of them is ever going to really, really tap in to the other side.
We have someone new. I see that Nicole has
Yep.
joined us.
So, Nicole, we're going to pull your card now. I'm really floored. This has gone by really fast because we're at 59 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yay. So, we're going to finish with Nicole.
I've already pulled one for Nicole. This is the 9 of coins. Now, this shows this really cool black cat, sort of like floating. And that card talks about success in adventures, success in being exactly on the path that you're supposed to be on. And coins also talk about money whenever you see coins or pentagrams. So there's an opportunity for increased money, but this would just kind of be like icing on the cake. Darce?
Well, your card actually also made me think, Nicole, that if you ever get a chance to do that, where you float in the water.
Oh, the salt immersion. I thought about that
Yes.
too.
that you should do it because I believe that you've got spirit, and this card says it right here, because there's a man on the ground, but here's the guy with the wings, and I'm trying to do it so it doesn't glare so you can see it. And I feel as though spirit is trying to make connection
Yeah,
with you.
I would say.
I think it's going to be with you, okay? And so be open, be joyful, be thankful, have gratitude. And I could say that to all of us tonight. Now, Heather quickly said, which one, Denver or Oakley, of her grandchildren?
Both.
Yeah. But I think Denver might be the one more open at the end of the day. So,
It feels like they're a little more grounded.
yeah. So, as my last thing for tonight, because I want to thank everyone for participating, for coming on the site tonight, letting us pull the cards, and answering your questions. The last card, it's not a card, it's this goat, take my goat thing. Okay. It says love's paradox. The more you give, the more you receive. And quickly, Amanda asked, is my dad at peace? And I'm going to basically say yes.
Yes, I would agree.
And I feel like he's floating above the clouds like a feather in the breeze, Amanda. Well, you're welcome, Nicole. I will be back on Thursday, and if you want to join me, it'll be 7:00 at night. And I want to thank Penelope for coming on tonight. And just so you know, for those of you who do not know, Penelope is my sister. And Sean hopefully will be up and better for next week. See what happens when you turn 60 for men? They get old.
Hush. She's supposed to be dignified and distinguished.
But anyways, ladies, thank you so much. And gentlemen who were listening, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight and participating. Really appreciate it.
And I will leave you with my favorite Irish blessing, which is sleep thee well and a pleasant journey through the land of dreams. May angels guide you safely back to morning light. Have a good night, everybody. And thank you so much. It was fun.
Yeah. Good night. We'll see you next week.